What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is going to be my UFC 318 full card recap and reactions. Sorry this is coming a little bit late. I was on a vacation trip and I couldn't really get videos out. I also lost my voice a little bit. So I'm going to try not to speak as loud in this video, but yeah, let's just get into it. So retirement has come. Dustin the Diamond is finally retired, and it was a great fight, man. It was a great fight. One of the best fights ever watched. They got robbed the fight of the night. Marvin Vettori versus Brendan Allen was a good fight. It wasn't fight of the night, though. This was definitely fight of the night. And I just don't get how they don't get it. It's even Dustin's retirement fight, too. So I think they got robbed of that. But yeah, man, Dustin Poirier retires. They played a little retirement package after. It was pretty good. It's kind of sad, but, Dustin Poirier was one of my favorite fighters. Not many fighters, have the thing where you can guarantee it's going to be a good fight. Dustin Poirier has that thing. And who does too? Max Holloway. But yeah, we'll get into Max Holloway. But first, let's just talk about Poirier. Poirier, yeah, he kind of got outclassed for 5 rounds. He had the moment in the second round where he dropped Max Holloway. Then he jumped the gilly, didn't get it, and then Max Holloway just outstruck him for the rest of the fight. Hopefully, Dustin Poirier stays retired and he doesn't go out and box like Jake Paul. Yeah, okay. But yeah, for Max Holloway, though, Max Holloway looked great. He dropped Dustin Poirier early in the first round twice, actually. And then he got knocked down in the second round. Max Holloway a little bit chinny now. But he dropped Dustin in the first, then got dropped in the second. And then was kind of a war for the rest of the fight. But Max Holloway just controlled the whole fight. And Max Holloway is a new fighter at 155. He's evolved at 155. I mean, he is so much different now. And these wins are doing good for Max Holloway. They're itching him up on the GOAT list because I'm pretty sure I had him at number 11 on my list. And now he just picked up a win over Dustin Poirier. Yeah, you can say a little bit of a wash, Dustin Poirier, but there's been fighters who have declined far worse at Dustin Poirier's age. But yeah, Max Holloway, great win for him. Now he has beat Justin Gaethje and Dustin Poirier at 155. Dude, Max Holloway, he's a problem in that 155-pound division. It kind of sucks that Poirier is the champ. Well, it doesn't, but for Max Holloway it sucks because obviously in his fight before this one, he was knocked out by Poirier brutally. As is for matchups, I think maybe you could do Max Holloway versus Charles Oliveira. Sorry, my voice is cracking. Yeah, you could do Max Holloway versus Charles Oliveira. I think that's a good fight. I saw some people suggest Max versus Armin, Max versus Patty. I mean, they kind of just throw out everyone in the top 5. And everyone's like, Max would starch Patty, but let's be real, Patty has to fight someone in that range, okay? We get it. Everyone's going to say Patty gets starched by everyone, but at some point he's going to have to fight someone in that range. Do I think he should fight Max Holloway? No. I think they should do Justin Gaethje versus Patty Pimblett. They could give Armin the shot, and then they could do Max Holloway versus Charles Oliveira. And if Max Holloway beats Charles Oliveira, which I think he would, you could run back the rematch with Poirier. Or if Armin somehow takes the belt, then you got a fresh matchup with Max Holloway and Armin Sarukian. And yeah, so, sad retirement from Dustin Poirier. It was a great send-off, though. Great pay-per-view. I was watching it with, my cousins and my family, and we were all in this one room, and we were having such a good time, bro. I was almost going to screen record, our reactions to it, but then I just thought, nah, and I was going to maybe post, a special video of our live reactions to it. But, great fight, awesome fight to watch. Max Holloway gets it done. Looked great out there. And, yeah, Max Holloway is a different fighter at 155. As we get on to the next one, Paulo Costa versus Roman Kopylov. I picked Roman Kopylov to get this one done. Roman Kopylov most definitely did not get this one done. Paulo Costa destroyed Roman Kopylov. I didn't get to see this whole fight, but I saw another breakdowns and reactions, and from what I saw, Paulo Costa was snapping Roman Kopylov back with his body kicks, head kicks, just a bunch of kicks for Paulo Costa. And this looked like a more hungry, version of Paulo Costa. He looked way hungrier than we've seen him in his last couple fights, against the Sean Stricklands and Robert Whitakers. Paulo Costa actually looked dangerous in this fight. And he gave Roman Kopylov the work, dude. He, like I said, he landed the body kicks, got in the pocket, pieced up Roman Kopylov, kicked him at range. And you know what I think? The first thing I think of when I see this fight is this guy, Lucas Tracy, used to say Roman Kopylov could beat Izzy and Roman Kopylov could beat Robert Whitaker. And now Roman Kopylov can't even beat Paulo Costa. Great win for Paulo Costa. He's back. He's hungrier. He's better. It's either that or it's just he took a step down in competition, and Paulo Costa actually is high level, just loses to the top guys. I know he's got that beef with Khamzat Chimaev right now. But I think you would actually rather have Khamzat lose to Dricus, because then I guess that kind of makes sense, Paulo Costa versus Khamzat. Whereas if Khamzat wins the belt, you still have people in line like Imavov, Rojo, whoever wins that fight in September. If Khamzat loses, honestly, why not just book Paulo Costa versus Khamzat? That fight was already supposed to happen at UFC 294 in October 2023. So, I say if Khamzat loses, we do Paulo Costa versus Khamzat. But, great win for Paulo Costa. He is back in the win column. On to the next one. This one disappointed me. Kevin Holland versus D-Rod, bro. My boy Kevin Holland, came out looking flat. He looked flat. In the first round, you could see D-Rod rocking, in the second round, you could see D-Rod rocking Kevin Holland, and he would just have, this smirk on his face. I know, this performance just made me mad from Kevin Holland. We're riding a win streak, bro. This is supposed to be the start of our title run. First round, it was pretty even, tit for tat. I think there is an argument you could do this for a robbery, and I was kind of thinking that, but now I kind of just think I was biased because I like Kevin Holland. I think D-Rod won the first round, though, and then the second round was obviously D-Rod's because he dropped him. And then you sort of think as we're going in the third round, Kevin Holland, he drops D-Rod with, this little, uppercut with, nothing on it. Drops D-Rod somehow. And then you think Kevin Holland's about to get the finish. D-Rod survives. D-Rod survives. And then, they go to the decision. They score for D-Rod. Good win for D-Rod, man. Best win of his career, I'm pretty sure. Let's take a look at his profile. Yeah, he's on a 3-fight win streak now over Morono, Ponzinibbio, and Kevin Holland. And before they had losses to Gastelum and Gary. Good win for D-Rod. I actually thought Kevin Holland was going to get this one done. I don't know, just something, but I won't cope. But something about him when he got in the octagon, I was just, there's some fighters where you can sort of tell when they get in the octagon, you're like, oh, he doesn't look good. I don't think he's going to get it done. Kevin Holland just didn't look like the Kevin Holland who was going to win the fight. He looked like he was kind of just there for a paycheck. He had just fought at UFC 316. Now he's in here, UFC 318. He just looked like he was in there, to try to get a win, but he did not. So, good win for Kevin Holland, absolute war. There was a lot of wars on this card, so the last 3 fights were very good. On to the next one, Dan Ige versus Patricio Pitbull. Don't have much to comment. This fight and the Daniel Hooper fight, I did not see. I was out playing basketball in Palm Desert while these while these were happening. Yeah, you can call me a casual. But yeah, I heard Patricio Pitbull looked good, but in Hopper MMA's breakdown, he said that just not much happened, and Patricio Pitbull is just kind of, he's just kind of timid, doesn't really throw a lot, but he's pretty good. But he also called him the worst signing in UFC history. But I don't know if I agree with that or not. But yeah, good win for Patricio Pitbull, I guess. Basically, everyone was rolling with Dan Ige. Patricio Pitbull gets it done. Good win for him. On the next, Michael Johnson, Daniel Zellhuber. Like I said, didn't see this one. I honestly thought Daniel Zellhuber was a lock, and I guess it was wrong. I really struggled on this main card. Oh, and by the way, I went in this guy called, dude, I forget his name. He has, a profile picture of, Dan Hooker with, his face on it. And he posted, his parlays. And none of them hit at all, basically. And I said, holy hell. And we got in, this whole heated debate, bro. And this guy was taking it so seriously, bro. It was so funny. But, yeah. On to this one. Michael Johnson gets it done. Unk still got it. That's what they were saying about Pitbull, too. Unks are back. Michael Johnson now. He had just knocked out Otman Zaitar. We're riding a 3-fight win streak now, Michael Johnson, before the loss to Diego Ferreira. Michael Johnson looking good nowadays. Gets the win over Daniel Zellhuber, who I guess everyone thought was proven, but I guess, he really only, I don't think a war with Esteban Ribovics, I think that's kind of what we were judging him off, really proves you all that much. But Michael Johnson gets it done. Good win for the Unk. Another win in the win column for the Unks. On to the next one, Vinicius Oliveira versus Kyler Phillips. Vinicius Oliveira was another lock for me. Vinicius Oliveira gets it done, controls the pace, drops. Did he drop Kyler Phillips or did he just wobble him? I don't remember. He just hurt Kyler Phillips. Kyler Phillips still around. It was maybe the second. I don't really know. But yeah, Vinicius Oliveira basically just controls this whole fight. And yeah, Vinicius Oliveira, one of the best prospects at bantamweight. I guess he's sort of not really a prospect anymore because he's proven himself now at this win and the Saeed Nurmagomedov win that he got earlier this year. Yeah, Vinicius Oliveira is climbing the ranks. Bantamweight, like I said in prior videos, the top of the bantamweight division ain't all that good. But the prospects that are coming up are good. And I mentioned Alessandro Poirier and Malcolm Wellmaker and even Peyton Talbot, I guess. But yeah, good win for Vinicius Oliveira. On the next one, Brendan Allen versus Marvin Vettori. A great fight. As you see, he got fight of the night. I actually think Poirier versus Holloway should have been fight of the night. That's what I said. But yeah, great fight. You can tell these guys didn't like each other from the opening bell. Marvin Vettori kind of did the same thing where he gets into wars but just doesn't adjust and keeps doing the same thing over and over. Brendan Allen, that was the difference, that Brendan Allen actually adjusted. Brendan Allen's got some crafty striking. I mean, he's still kind of mid, and he loses to everyone above him. But but yeah, Brendan Allen looked decent. I mean, they both looked decent. This was kind of like a bar fight scrap. Brendan Allen gets it done. Absolute war. These guys did not like each other at all. Marvin Vettori's face was busted up and Allen was bleeding a little bit. A war, fun fight to watch. They were going at it. They didn't like each other, but they did shake their hands after the fight. So, good win for Brendan Allen. I picked him to get that one done. He did. Next we got Francisco Prado versus Nikolai Vretnikov. Didn't see this one either. It was a split decision. I saw the little short on the UFC website. I might go on ESPN after and watch this fight and watch a couple other fights that I didn't see. But yeah, Nikolai Vretnikov gets it done, split decision. Don't have much to say on that one because he did. Next we got Ateba Gautier versus Robert Valentine. Ateba Gautier, he was a big lock on this card to get this one done. He gets it done over Robert Valentine by KO in the first round. As you see, only 1 minute 10 seconds in. Ateba Gautier is basically like middleweight Ngannou with lighter man skill. I mean, he's literally middleweight Ngannou. He's just a more skilled Ngannou who's a middleweight. Gets it done over Robert Valentine. I think we all saw this coming. Ateba Gautier, first round knockout. Next, we got Islam Dulatov versus Adam Fugay. You know, the more I look at this, the more I realize that a lot of people on this card were kind of locks. On the prelims, the main card was very hard to predict, but the prelims were kind of easy to predict. I think the only one I got wrong was the Francisco Prado fight. Islam Dulatov gets the first round knockout. I hear a lot of people hyping this guy up after. He's 12-1. He's from Germany. Not to end the train, but I feel like this guy might get fraud checked. I don't know. He's just giving off that vibe. Not to be a hater, but good win for Islam Dulatov. He looked good. He looked very good. His striking's clean. Yeah, I think this guy could be good. I don't know. He's just giving me a vibe that he might get fraud checked. Then you got Jimmy Crute, Marcin Prachnio. Jimmy Crute gets the armbar submission in round 1. And you know what's funny about this fight? Me and my cousin, we were in our hotel in Palm Desert, and he was like making like a parlay on like some app or something that they do, like the significant strikes and over under fight time and stuff. And he was asking me about this stuff, and he was like, "Do you think," he was like, "over under fight time on Jimmy Crute?" And I was like, "Under. I think he's gonna get like a first or second round submission." And he was like, "Nah." And I was like, "Trust me. Come up to me later when Jimmy Crute gets a first round armbar." And funny enough, when I come back and see Jimmy Crute first round armbar, I was at the pool walking back, and I pulled out my phone and I was like, "What the heck, bro? First round armbar. Bro should have listened to me." It's his birthday, by the way, so shout out to him on his birthday. But yeah, Jimmy Crute gets it done. They got Ryan Spann, Lucas Brzezinski. Ryan Spann gets it done, guillotine in the first round. I saw the highlight of this. I picked Ryan Spann to get this one done. Ryan Spann got this one done. Good win for Ryan Spann. This was his last fight. He took the L to Cortez Acosta. Ryan Spann's back in the win column since Zelda Cortez Acosta gets a good win over Lucas Brzezinski. Not much else to say. Good win. Next, you got Bruno Ferreira versus Jackson McVeigh. Another first-round submission. Armbar. I think everyone was rolling with Bruno Ferreira to get this one done. Gets it done by submission. Jackson McVeigh, didn't know who the heck he was when I looked him up. Saw his profile picture, or like the picture of him, and I said, that guy doesn't look like he'll be good at fighting. And funny enough, he wasn't good at fighting. He got submitted in the first round by Bruno Ferreira. And Carly Jodas gets the KO in round 3 over Nicole Cagliari. So overall, very fun card. It's a very fun card. I guess the main card was kind of at least the first 2 fights were kind of meh. But the last 3 fights were pretty good. Costa Kopylov, kind of destruction. Holland Rodriguez was war. And obviously the main event speaks for itself. One of the best fights I've ever seen. Thank you, Dustin Poirier. It was a great career. He hung him up. He hung up the gloves. Max Holloway gets it done. Max Holloway's a problem at 155. And he's got wins over Justin Gaethje and Dustin Poirier. I think he's coming for Charles Oliveira next. I know he called for the rematch with Ilia Topuria, but I don't think he wants that smoke. I don't think he wants the smoke. Oh yeah, I remember in the hotel watching this fight, bro. It was so funny. Everyone was beefing, bro. Like, we were watching the fight, and some people had Max, some people had Dustin, and they were beefing so hard. like friends of ours, their brothers, one of them had Max and one of them had Dustin. They're kind of casuals when it comes to MMA. And after the first round, Max dropped Dustin twice. He was like 10-7 Max. It was so funny. And his brother was like, "Shut up." It was so funny. But yeah, guys. Comment, subscribe, hit hit the like button. I kind of yapped in this video. My bad. Yeah. Goodbye.